Welcome to Orcs Must Die 3. In this video we are going through the ultimate beginner guide to get you started in the game. This game is currently on sale on Steam, that's why I've picked it up and why I'm bringing you this beginner guide. It's currently £6, so it's an absolute bargain. It's a great game to sit there and play and just chill. It is also a tower defense game, so if that's your cup of tea, this game will definitely be a purchase for you. So starting off with this guide, you do get upgrades in this game. You can upgrade your traps, you can upgrade your weapon. I strongly recommend maxing out your weapon upgrades first. You have your base upgrades on the left hand side of the upgrade screen, and then you've got like special ones in the middle and on the right hand side. When it comes to traps like the spike trap, you can get it to deal lightning damage, which will slow enemies down, kind of like freeze them in their tracks. So that stuff is important, but I recommend doing your weapon first, because if you choose the longbow like I did, the longbow doesn't have the fastest rate of fire, so enemies are going to get through if you don't have a lot of traps down, if your traps aren't working out because you've got them in the wrong places and things like that. And the bow becomes very, very useful when you max out its rate of fire. So focus on those. And another thing is, when you look at the top right corner of your screen, you can see your minimap, and you can use this to locate where the enemies are coming from. Because as you progress through the campaign, you will see that there are like 2 spawn doors where the enemies come from. And in the early waves, in the levels that are about a third of the way through the game, halfway through the game, that sort of area, the enemies are going to start coming through one door. It's only when you get to the later waves on that level where they come through both at the same time. So it gives you the opportunity to use a strategy, and for an example, they're coming from the left-hand side door. You would then place some of your traps on the left-hand side. It's pointless in the first wave, if that is the case, putting them on the right-hand side, because they're not actually going to hit any enemies or anything like that. The doors will change, like it will basically give you an indicator to let you know where the enemies are spawning from, so your minimap is really important. Sometimes you can get health and mana drops, they will also be marked on your minimap. It's just an incredible tool to use. Make sure you are looking at that minimap, I can't recommend it enough. And when it comes to mana, your secondary attack with your weapon is going to use mana, but it's a much better attack, and mana does regenerate over time, so you don't need to be stingy with your mana. For an example, with the longbow, when you are using your main like base attack, you're going to fire 1 arrow. When you do the mana attack, your secondary one, you are going to fire 3 arrows, and you can fire them really fast when you've maxed out the longbow. And it's going to deal a lot more damage, but not only that, you can charge it up, use a little bit of extra mana, and you can deal even more damage with it. So make sure to utilize everything you have in your arsenal to stop these orcs coming through. Then a tip with the traps in the game, I would place them quite far away from each other. I make this mistake a lot, and I try and make it look smart. I try and have the traps kind of symmetrical, if you like. I try and balance it out on both sides if there are like 2 spawn areas for the enemies. But that is definitely not how you should do it. Always space them out, because the traps have cooldowns. So if you have them all piled up close together, they could all go on cooldown at the same time, and enemies could easily get through. You can work on the trap cooldowns through the upgrades and stuff, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. And when you are playing this game, I would 100% try and complete the levels with 5 skulls. Skulls are basically awarded for how much score you get, and the moment you let one enemy through, you are going to lose that 5th skull. But make sure you are aiming to get as many as you possibly can, because you are going to get bonus skulls as well, and you can use these skulls as a currency or like a skill point so that you can upgrade all of your traps and your weapons. If you do have issues, say you do your first run, you get unlucky with an enemy, they manage to get through, you can retry the levels as many times as you want, so don't worry about it too much. You can just restart if there is a mistake. And then finally, the game does eventually start making it a little bit more difficult than just having your light and your medium orcs. You are going to start getting runners. These enemies are designed to just try and put your traps into cooldown. So if you have an entire wave, you've got light orcs, you've got medium orcs, you even get rangers that come in with their like bow and arrows or whatever, they're dealing actual damage to you from a distance. If you've got all of that coming to you in one wave, definitely target these little runners first. They're quick, they're sneaky, they're small, but they are going to put your traps on cooldown. They are going to screw you over, so I would 100% target those first. So that was the ultimate beginner guide to Orcs Must Die 3. Hopefully these tips help you guys out. Check out this video if you want to see other content on the channel. I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.